Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to yet another episode here on the knockout rounds for the Nationals at the Debate Circle, Season 2. And gracing us in this knockout round is Wa Boys versus Kangaru School. And the motion of dissection reads, unclaimed financial assets should be converted and distributed to support social welfare programs and empower the less fortunate. I read the motion again. Unclaimed financial assets should be converted and distributed to support social welfare programs and empower the less fortunate. All the best to both teams. Team proposition, first speaker, you have 3 minutes.
Money, finances, poverty. What do these things have in common? They all have problems. We all need money. Poverty is a problem in our society right now. So, I, Dexter, from the renowned Kangaru School, I'm here to propose the motion that unclaimed financial assets should be converted to support social welfare programs and empower the less fortunate. So, let's start off this motion by defining the terms. So, I will start by defining the term unclaimed financial assets. When you hear of this term, what comes into your mind? This is what, as I was doing my research, I came across. These are essentially properties that have gone unclaimed beyond the democracy period or dormancy period. This is from the www.investopedia.com. And the next term that I'm going to define is welfare programs. What are welfare programs, if I may ask? These are a range of government programs that are designed for individuals and families who do not make enough to have a decent standard of living. Examples of the welfare programs. These are food, housing, Medicare, and finance assistance. Who are the less fortunate? The less fortunate are people who are poor and lack opportunities. We all know we have more poor people than the rich. So this is a really crucial part of our country and the world at large. So I will start by giving examples of unclaimed finances so we can know what we are talking about. So the first example I have for us is dormant bank accounts. What are dormant bank accounts? These are bank accounts that have no activity or transaction for a specific period of time, usually a few years. So let's say you have opened a bank account, then something happens, a circumstance comes through and you forget it, and it had a certain amount of money. So that is regarded as an unclaimed financial asset. Another crucial point that will lead me to my first claim is unclaimed insurance policies. Insurance is a cover that one takes to protect themselves from a certain issue. So, unclaimed insurance policies are regarded as unclaimed financial assets because when you take an insurance and forget about it, the money still stays with the insurance company that you did your transaction to. So yes, that is my time. I'm Dexter Dhiru from Kangaru School. Thank you.
Team opposition, first speaker, you have 3 minutes.
I am the government. I have plenty of money in store, and I have debts. Would I give this money to my children, or would I pay off the debts? Think about that. My name is Abdul Kombe from the great Wahai, opposing this motion that states unclaimed financial assets should be converted and distributed to support social welfare programs and empower the less fortunate. To begin with definition of terms, unclaimed financial assets are tangible assets that are dormant or inactive, often for a long period of time, without any contact from its rightful owners. Conversion is changing the state of something. Social welfare are initiatives to support and improve the well-being of individuals and the community. Less fortunate are individuals who have fewer privileges, opportunities, money than most of the people. This information has been extracted from the Oxford 10th edition dictionary. With my first submission, property rights. Yes, I leave the country. Yes, I am not available. These two check marks are not enough for you to have the right to confiscate my property. The property I worked for, I worked hard for. You don't know what I went through to get that property. I leave and go to Saudi Arabia, to go to United States for vacation for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You take my property and give it to some random people. It's like taking candy from one baby and giving it to another baby, having left the other baby crying. I'm the other baby. I'm the one crying. How would I feel? How about me? Think about me at this point. My second submission, inefficiencies. How sure are you that these unclaimed financial assets are going to be equally distributed to the places you want them to go to? We live in a corrupt nation. If distribution of resources is corrupted, if management of funds is corrupted, in short, we're in Kenya. That's the news flash. Everything is corrupted. You just have to face it. Nothing is safe. Straight to my third submission, simple-minded. According to the standard, 2.7 billion, more than last year, has been collected by the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority. That doesn't mean we have to go running to it. That doesn't mean that every year we're going to get 2.7 billion more. We shouldn't run to it. That's being greedy. We're stronger than this. We're Kenyans. It says in our national anthem, what more do you want? We should instead focus on the other alternatives that would be better suiting this type of situation, like taxation of the people of higher wealth standards. That way we're certain that we're getting a certain amount of money every year, rather than focusing on something that might deplete after 2 or 3 years. Aren't we helping the less fortunate? Aren't we empowering the less fortunate by doing so? Aren't we supporting social welfare programs by doing so? Ladies and gentlemen, I came up with a solution. What more is there to debate about? That's solving SDG number 1, no poverty.
Second speaker, Tim, proposition, you have 3 minutes.
I stand here to strongly propose that unclaimed financial assets should be converted and distributed to support social welfare programs and empower the less fortunate. Here are some of the reasons for converting unclaimed financial assets. According to Sustainable Development Goal number 4, quality education. We should empower by investing in education skills, training, and healthcare for the less fortunate. We empower individuals to lead more fulfilling and independent lives. That's a research from www.unicef.org. Poverty alleviation. Brother, you've talked about poverty alleviation. Just give us some time. Right now, 736 million people still live in extreme poverty. 10% of the world's population live in extreme poverty. 1.3 billion people live in multidimensional poverty. Are you still helping the poor? Not really. Human capital development. That's under Sustainable Development Goal number 8. Investing in education and skills development enhances human capital, which is very essential for sustainable development and economic growth. To my judges, that's a research from www.ilo.org. Once, back then in 2020, the Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe said, "You can get it, I can get it. So, if I can get it, why can't you get it?" According to one of the richest men on earth, Warren Buffett, who had a rough estimate of 119.1 billion US dollars, had 2 rules. Rule number 1, never lose money. And rule number 2, don't forget rule number 1. And by this, we're supposed to discover that under this motion, we are debating on how we are going to help the less fortunate, on how we are going to help them come from the rural centers to the urban centers, on how they are going to grow. Our economy is going to grow. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues and respected members of this assembly, imagine a world where forgotten resources find their purpose, where unclaimed financial assets are reimagined as catalysts for social transformation. We stand united in proposing the motion that assets should be converted and distributed to uplift the less fortunate, providing them not just a lifeline, but a pathway to empower and brighten our future. To our opposers, just give us some time. Thank you.
Second speaker, team opposition, you have 3 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Amira. Take my little brother. Look at yourself, because when I look at him, many questions come to my mind. While I was there, I was asking myself, because it has been said that nothing will come to you without a fight, and you must fight for what you want. Yes, we have no money. Yes, many people are poor. There's poverty. But if we want us to overcome poverty, we have to fight. Look at people in Marsabit. Look at people in the northern eastern Kenya. They are facing hunger, starvation. And it's only because of negative attitude as my brothers they have, my little brothers. They have engaged in a reverse gear and moving with a jet-like speed in the wrong direction because of a negative attitude of less fortunate. Nobody is less fortunate in this world. Africa, it has 60% uncultivated land, and it has been estimated, including Kenya, and it has been estimated that when we nurture this arable land, we can feed over 60% of the world. This is according to agriculture sector in Daily Nation 2022, March 2022. And they're here telling us that there's poverty, there's no money. We have to open our eyes, to open our minds, we as Africa. Until when we will be helped, until when we will be supported, until when we will be empowered. UN has been helping people, has been supporting people, has been supporting poor, but are they helping them? Have we overcome zero poverty, sustainable development? Zero hunger, sustainable development number 2. No, we haven't, because of negative attitude that we are less fortunate. We need help. Kenya is a country where, in areas, our ladies who have attained the age of puberty, they cannot afford sanitary pads. And our men, comfortable sitting that, in the name of less fortunate, we need support. It isn't like that. Who are you in a hurry want to distribute the unclaimed financial assets? And yet, many Kenyans at unclaimed financial assets, offices at Westlands in Nairobi and others at Barclays, CBD, Queen, making lines, looking shares for their deceased. They want shares of people who fight for those assets. And you are here. You didn't even fight. You want to be converted and distributed that money? No, that's not really. We have poverty. It's not because the sun rises from the east and sets in the west. It's because of negative attitude. I rest my case.
Team Proposition have been tasked to quantify how much money is actually guaranteed from this unclaimed assets every year. Team Opposition have been tasked to validate where does the uncultivated land come from if the unclaimed financial assets aren't distributed among the poor. Team Proposition, third speaker, you have 3 minutes.
Wow, opposers, why are you drifting to the darkness? Why are you telling lies to our audience? As you can see, one of the audience has started getting into the darkness. But don't worry, I have a solution. I, the torchbearer, as you can see, shall lead you back to the light. My name is Stephen Lenny from the prestigious Kangaru School. Here, as the question you have stated, do you have a set amount of money that is set for the people to get per year? As we know, 28,320 claims have been made of the financial assets. 1.9 billion has already been paid out. 57.5 billion, it is the financial asset that is not yet claimed. As you have stated per year, we shall first look at the people, we shall first consider the people, the poverty rate in Kenya. First, let's look in Kakamega, the county, one county in Kenya. As we know, its poverty rate, as in www.datascience.co.ke, is 49.2%. You have heard that? 49.2%. That's almost to 50%. First, we have to consider all the people who are being affected by the poverty rate, so as to divide the 57.5 billion of the financial asset that is not yet claimed. I hope I have answered your question. To the opposers, please join us. How many of you will join us, please? How many of you? You see, they don't have the answer. They are not even sure the path they are taking. If they know the path they are taking, they could have said, no, we are not going with you. But they haven't answered. So what does that mean? Opposers, please follow me to the right path. I shall shine the light unto you. For the sustainable development growth, number one, poverty. Kenya is taking a step, not any country, not Uganda, not Rwanda, but Kenya has taken a step of implementing social safety nets, such as hunger safety net program and older person cash transfer program. As we know, we want to state that they want people to add some charity to them, but as we know, for the social welfare, we are getting provided the money from the financial assets, the unclaimed, the unutilized financial assets. That's why we are getting the money that is targeted to provide to the poor, the less fortunate, to the elderly, and to the people's and to persons who are facing disabilities. As we know, less fortunate, it can be determined in many causes, elderly and people who are disability. Join us. I'm giving you a warning. I rest my case. Thank you.
Team Opposition, third speaker, you have 3 minutes.
Unclaimed bank accounts, dormant M-Pesa accounts, uncollected prize money, for example, lottery money, and all these are examples of unclaimed financial assets. But I want you to know that these unclaimed financial assets have their rightful owner to own them. One Shilling Foundation, Fazil Chinoi Foundation, Inua Mama Mashinani, Sabur Orphanage and other orphanages in Kenya are examples of groups who initiate in welfare programs, and they have their own ways of breeding money in order to support these particular activities. To answer one of my fellow Kenyan, Where does the uncultivated land come from if the unclaimed assets are not distributed to the poor people? You know what? Even those owning the lands do not want to participate in land cultivation. According to SDG number 12, responsible consumption and production, we have to come up with the responsible ways in handling these unclaimed financial assets. Authorities' objectives, progress of the authority, effects of converting unclaimed financial assets and distributing them. All these are a harm to us. Number one, according to the strategic plan of Unclaimed Financial Asset Authority 2023-2024 to 2027-2028, a trusted institution in the management of unclaimed. And how can they achieve this? Through receiving, safeguarding, and reuniting unclaimed financial assets for socio-economic prosperity. And you are telling us that we should convert unclaimed financial assets and give them to social welfare programs and empower the less fortunate. Number two, the authority's objectives. According to Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority, in the strategic plan of 2023-2024 to 2027-2028, they want to reunite. They want to reunite the UFAs to their right owners. They want to safeguard the UFAs. And you are here busy telling us that we should convert and distribute these particular unclaimed finances. You know, the best thing about us, the Air Force Blue Soldier, is that we are here to protect and we are here to provide a better solution. What will rise if we convert and distribute these unclaimed financial assets? There might be a rise of the owners, injustice, poor ways of distributing this particular assets. And the problem is supporting social welfare and empowering the less fortunate. We have the solution to contributing money to support these particular foundations and welfares, the solutions to finding support from non-governmental organizations such as the Mombasa Cement, the solution to finding new ways of breeding money to support this particular foundation. We are here to provide solution. We ain't here to provide problems that will erupt in future. Thank you.
Team Proposition, you have 1 minute to give your closing remark.
I just need your sense, 'cause I don't get it, brothers. Your water lacks a lot of things. Your sweet is as tasteless and meaningless as your points. Here is something that is going to instill some sense in you. So please, I plug it in. We are not here to argue on this and start saying that, oh, zero hunger, oh, poverty, my foot. I am here to tell you that we are just trying to get the finances, distribute them to the less fortunate. We are not here to go and educate them. Yeah, they'll get education like we are. But we're trying to go and help them. This is something that is happening right now. This is something that is even going to come and befall our generations. My fellow brothers, let us think greatly about this. To our judges, this is a passionate appeal that I'm making to you. We need to convert the financial assets and distribute them to the less fortunate. I, Vishal Jr., from the Sleeping Giant Kangaru School, taps out. Thank you.
Team Opposition, you have 1 minute to give your closing remark.
Ladies and gentlemen, we tried to support them. They failed to utilize our support. They brought us our water back. They failed to utilize our support. My culture as a Kenyan, like Honorable William Ruto, our president, says, is being a hustler, working to get what I need. You take someone else's money. You take someone else's money and expect to use it while you didn't work to get your own. You call yourself less privileged while you're just being lazy. You're filling my mind with all these myopic thoughts, telling us that we're lying. We're telling lies. While you're the one who said that there are many poor people than the rich in Kenya with no evidence. I don't know if you're right or wrong. Am I telling lies or are you telling rumors? Answer me. In the Constitution of 2010, it says every person has a right to acquire and own land. Is that right or wrong? That's evidence. Game over.
I felt I understood what financial assets are. However, that was not the main agenda of the debate about explaining what financial assets are, the unclaimed financial assets. There was a bit of borderlines crossed when you spoke about some of the examples of the unclaimed financial assets, because when you go to the authority, for example, in Kenya, land is not part of it, all right? So you want to be careful on that, and that's for you, the proposers. So you want to be careful, don't talk about land and the likes. Too much time defining motions, that was commented on, and explaining just what they mean. I mean, Vishal as well. I think Vishal, there was a bit of a fair cross-examination, we may use that. And Stephen, I think all the facts that you want to give, you want to ensure that they're validated. One of the things you want to check on as well is when you're using your, enhanced style gadgets to help you explain things, they must have a meaning behind it, all right? Yes, so you're not just throwing water and sweets, and then I was hoping to now understand what's the water and the sweet for, so that it can now hammer the point, but I did not get it. At least the torch was quite close because you were shedding some light to something, but you get my point? Yes, everything that is used should be there to enhance your particular debate.
To the opposers, Abdul, you had good definition of terms. Very good communicator. He brought in a couple of points, how it's unfair to distribute this wealth or these unclaimed assets. You gave a point on a chance for misuse, which was a good point because it can be misused. And then you also gave another angle to this debate where we are giving alternatives of supporting social welfare programs. Harun, a good start, but you stuck so much on the less fortunate. Again, where I'm saying we get lost in one point of the debate. But all the same, you're a good communicator. Hussein, you gave some points on alternatives to fundraising for the social welfare program and also supported the point on mismanagement of such unclaimed assets, if we gave that chance of distributing. Otherwise, just another small grammatical error where you said ain't. Ain't is not a proper grammatical word. All the same, all the best to both teams.
We have come to the end of this debate, and I will move straight to the judges' results. And the judges have awarded Kangaru School with 62%. A round of applause, please, for Kangaru School. And the judges have awarded Wa Boys High School with 68.4%. A round of applause, please, for Wa Boys High School being the winners of this debate. And we have come to the end of this debate here at the debate circle. We are on the race towards the finals and the semi-finals here at the Nationals. Remember to check our social media handles for more of this content at the debate circle on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and as well as on TikTok. And until next time, it is goodbye from us.